Hello, welcome back to the Hot Dog and Handshake Cosmic Review Series. I am Shane Price. Once again, joined by Jade Ginsweiler. Jade, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, baby.
You can't see it, but he's doing the Undisputed Era little hand signal there, because he's a UE shooter.
Yep, absolutely.
And as we start here, that kind of gives it away. NXT TakeOver War Games 2019, the first one, right?
I believe this was
Second, one of the two.
a first or second NXT War Games. I'd have to look here. This was November 23rd, 2019, from the Allstate Arena in the greater Chicago area. In front, there was no reported attendance on Cage Match. I don't know if you can find that somewhere. I forgot to look for it, but Mauro
Probably.
Ranallo, Nigel McGuinness, and Beth Phoenix on commentary. 2 hours, 28 minutes is how long it runs on Peacock. And we are reviewing this show mostly for fun. So it was just kind of a wheel spin. We had nothing else to do this week. So we went with this one. Okay, there was a takeover. I think this was the third takeover War Games.
Okay.
So, and then of course it also just kind of works that the wheel landed on this because there has been a lot of NXT nostalgia recently with NXT Homecoming and all of that nostalgia bait crap they were doing over there. But unlike NXT Homecoming, we're going to get into some real graps here. So you can go ahead and start us in on this show.
First match of only four, so this starts the precedence of no matches on the cards. This is the War Games 8 women tag match with Team Shayna Baszler, Kaylee Ray, now Alba Fire, Bianca Belair, and Io Shirai, now Io Sky. Then they're taking on the tag team of Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox, joined by Candice LeRae and Rhea Ripley.
Yep. This was the first ever women's War Games match.
Has Io been in every single one of them?
Probably. She seems to be the most willing of any woman in WWE to throw herself off the top of the War Game structure. So, probably. This was a great match. I was and still am such a big fan of Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox that, like, when this heel turn happened, it was a traumatic event for me. Dakota turning on Tegan Nox. But it was an incredible match. I love the turn in this match because it really guaranteed that this match would be differentiated from the main event, the men's War Games, and it would stand out on its own and kind of be its own thing and be unique. So I really liked that. I gave it 4 1/4. I thought this match was absolutely incredible.
I gave it 4.5. I don't remember Io being a heel at this point in time, but I also it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I loved Candice and Rhea going at it 2-on-4 against the heels and somehow pulling it off. Like, that was so great. Remember when Candice LeRae was treated like the awesome wrestler she is in WWE?
Oh yeah, I do.
Was?
Remember when she was able to like actually do moves and shit, not just
yeah. She also had awesome gear in this. The like multicolor gear situation she had going on was really cool.
I think she always had good gear though.
Mm-hmm. You want to get into the next match?
We're gonna speed on this episode. We do.
Well, there's only 4 matches.
Fast. Yeah,
I mean, there's not much. We'll talk more. I mean, we have the categories and stuff that'll help it extend out. But yeah, this might be a short one just because there's only 4 matches. There's only so much to talk about.
Next match is for the NXT title #1 contendership. It is Damian Priest, Killian Dane, and Pete Dunne.
Yep. 3 hard hitters, and that's exactly what we got here. A really hard-hitting match. And the winner of this match, Pete Dunne, would go on to face Adam Cole at Survivor Series the next night, which was the next night was the Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT Survivor Series that I think was really probably very biasly because NXT got involved, was the peak of the Raw versus like the brand split Survivor Series situation.
Yeah, I know it was. I remember very visibly, like very angrily being at KU and not being here,
mhm.
not being at
Yeah,
that show. I really wanted to be at this show because of NXT. But yeah, I mean that was a great match. We should watch it at Survivor Series at some point.
yeah. I'll definitely put it on the list. This match, though, like I said, was very hard hitting. It was a very solid match. I gave it 3.5.
That's fair. I can see that. I gave it 3 and a quarter, so a little bit lower than you, but still pretty much the same place.
Yeah. Then the next match.
The next match, bro. The next match, bro. Finn Balor and Matt Riddle straight up one-on-one contest.
Yeah. I've always hated Matt Riddle. He just never passed the vibe check for me. I hated that his whole character was he was supposed to be a babyface, but his character was just a dude that I wouldn't want to be around. So I just never liked him. I love Finn Balor. It was solid. It was a solid match. Like I can't argue that it was a good match. He was good in the ring. I gave it 3 stars. And this, of course,
Yeah,
also was Finn Balor's first match back in NXT after he'd been on the main roster for a while, and then went back for that awesome run.
which I do appreciate the run, honestly, but the run starting this way wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
the best.
Yeah. And of course, now we know that Matt Riddle is a huge piece of shit in real life, which I kind of always suspected because everybody was like, yeah, his character is just kind of who he is. So I was like, yeah, so he's probably sucks.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
that like archetype of dude is just someone that I don't like. Denzel Curry was in the crowd though. That was cool.
Yeah, was he making his NXT debut soon?
Yeah, he was set to debut soon in NXT. I was hoping we would get one of those, but they didn't have any for this show. Do you want to get
Then,
into the main event?
yeah, they might as well. I mean, not much to talk about. The next match, the War Games 8-man tag team match. Undisputed Era of Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Red Dragon, Colorado Valley Fish
Yep.
against the face team of Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dijak, I don't remember at all, and Kevin Owens making a shocking return.
Yes. So of course I love the Undisputed Era. If you go onto our YouTube page, our banner has the Undisputed Era in it because they are my favorite stable / like tag team group, whatever, of all time. This was the Undisputed Era were a really key thing into getting me into like AEW and everything too. Because by the time AEW came around, I was very much an NXT focused WWE fan. I mostly watched NXT. And then when I started, I was like, oh, I'll check out AEW. I was like, oh, this is closer to NXT than the main roster is. So I was like, this is what I love. And the Undisputed Era, especially Adam Cole, was a huge part of that. I also credit Johnny Gargano a lot with that too from this era, and Ciampa as well, but really Gargano. And so that was awesome. I was obviously rooting all the way for the Undisputed Era, but I do remember KO being the surprise 4th member was kind of a jump out of my chair moment. Like I remember jumping off my couch when it was KO when it was KO Kevin
It was a
Owens.
fucking Jayhawk coming out to the ring.
Yeah, when it was Kevin Owens, I jumped out of my chair or jumped off my couch, whatever. Like it was so awesome. This match is so good. It rules. There was perfect, like there was plunder, there was big spots, there was great in-ring work. Everything you needed to be. I almost got to a 5 with it, but I landed at 4 3/4.
I also gave it 4 3/4. We'll get to my favorite spot in this match when we get to best moment is I'm going to give it the best moment because I remember laughing about it for at least half an hour
Mhm.
back when I first watched it. But yeah, this was such a good match.
Yeah, I really loved it. All these guys were great. Of course, Keith Lee would go on to that next night, have a real breakout star performance. So yeah, Dijakovic is great too. On to best moment. What spot did you want to shout out from this match?
Kyle O'Reilly hitting himself in the head and chair.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty funny. My best moment, I think, is actually going to come from the women's War Games match. The first of what would be an escalating Io Sky jumps off the War Games spot. It's just my favorite spot of the year. It's replaced the Kofi Kingston Rumble save. It's just every year I look forward to Io Sky jumping off the fucking War Games cage.
Oh yeah,
Um, I think the next year would be when she did the trash can thing for the first time. Because this time she just straight jumped off it, right? And then the next year,
yeah.
2020,
I
would be the
think so.
trash
I think
can.
2020 is when the Sasuke bump started happening in the WWE.
Yeah. MVP of the night. I feel like it's got to be from the main event, but everybody was so good. As much as I want to pick one of the Undisputed Era guys, I think Ciampa, I mean, being the team captain, going first into the cage, I think he probably wins my MVP. I'm going to go Tommaso Ciampa.
That's
Who are you
fair.
picking?
I'm gonna give it to Roderick Strong. You know, a guy never wasn't really.
Also, the first guy in the cage for Undisputed Era.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they were the two guys that started the match.
Yeah. So they were in there the longest. Yeah. No, they're absolutely incredible from both of them. Heat check, best performance in a short amount of time. You don't really get that on NXT cards a lot. Because like none of this was really short. I guess Dakota Kai, because she never really got in the match. She just did the turn and left.
Yeah.
I think it has to go to Dakota Kai. Gear of the night's going to go to Candice LeRae for sure.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with you there for that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Now Apex Mountain. This was, I think, the Apex time frame of Undisputed Era. Like when Cole had the world title, Roderick had the North American title, and Red Dragon had the tag team titles, and they were all healthy and they were all at their best. Like this was the apex for Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
And then I would say probably the night after this really starts to kick off Keith Lee's climb to his apex. I think actually winning the NXT title becomes his apex. And I don't think anybody else had their apexes here. Think a lot of people would go on to do bigger and better things. A surprise of the show, of course, at the time, Kevin Owens was even more surprising than the Dakota Kai turn was Kevin Owens. Watching it now, man, you know what? I forgot how good Killian Dane was.
You really do.
I haven't caught a lot of his post WWE work. He hasn't really, his matches haven't come across my desk, but I really forgot how good he was. I had a great time watching him in that match with Dunn and Priest. I think that would be my surprise of the show.
That's fair. I'm just gonna give it to Kevin Owens still.
Yeah, I think at the moment it was definitely Kevin Owens. Just looking back now, I remembered that I knew that was coming. So recasting, I think we got to recast the men's War Games, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Undisputed Era. Who is the Undisputed Era of our time right now? Just a faction of four like just 4 awesome wrestlers. I don't think we need to limit it to 4-man factions, but just one faction with 4 awesome guys, putting their 4 guys in. Who does anybody come to mind?
Not really.
Like I'm trying to think of a parallel right now to the Undisputed Era. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm not really drawn on any. Like, is the Bullet Club War Dogs maybe the closest thing we have to an Undisputed Era right now?
I guess, in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, unless you can think of a better option here. You want to go with the War Dogs?
Yeah.
So I think Finlay is your Cole, obviously, right? Who would be Roderick? Would Gabe Kidd be Roderick Strong?
Yeah.
Okay. Or I guess, do you want to do Death Riders? Or are they too different of a thing?
I think they're too different of a thing is they're just like the evil bad guys.
Okay. So, yeah, so Finlay is Cole, Gabe Kidd is Strong, and then since they're like the tag team of the group, would Connors and Maloney be O'Reilly and Fish?
Yeah.
Okay. And then going up against them, who would be Tommaso Ciampa? Coming back. You know who it is? It's Eddie Kingston. Coming back from an injury with a vendetta against the heel group. Because Gabe Kidd's the one that took Eddie out. So I think Eddie Kingston is our Ciampa right now, right?
Yeah.
And then Keith Lee would be a guy it feels like he's on the brink of something big. Could that be a Yota Tsuji? Could that be, is there somebody from AEW that you feel like is a, I mean, Kyle Fletcher's already a mid-card champion. I think we're not too far from Keith Lee becoming North American champion. Would it be like I don't know who somebody is who just, it feels like they're about to be there in the conversation. You know what I mean? Like a Braun Breaker, maybe? Would Braun Breaker be what Keith Lee is right now?
Yeah, we can go with that.
Okay. And then Dominic Dijakovic, Braun Breaker's longtime rival, teaming up with him for the greater good would be like, it'd be like him and Keith Lee being on the same team would be like Braun and Carmelo Hayes teaming up.
Yeah.
So that's Carmelo Hayes. And then Kevin Owens, the shock return that we wouldn't see coming to team up with these guys. I feel like if we had done the Death Riders as an Undisputed Era, Danielson being here would make a lot of sense. But going War Dogs, a shock return to take on the War Dogs, I think you'd have to go Bullet Club past. And I think the appropriate Kevin Owens level of Kevin Owens pop would be like AJ returning to New Japan to team up with Eddie Kingston, and for some reason Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes are there to take on the War Dogs. Would you go AJ? Would you go Balor?
I guess we can go Balor. Yeah, I think that would work
Omega.
better than AJ.
Well, would Jay White make the most sense since Finlay kicked White out of the Bullet Club?
I guess, yeah.
So it'd be Eddie, Jay White, Braun Breaker, and Carmelo Hayes versus the Bullet Club War Dogs. That would actually
we can go with that.
That would actually be insane. Next, we have Best Double Feature. Let me look at the other Undisputed Era War Games matches here. Let me see here. Event type, PLEs. The Pete Dunne Ricochet War Game. Trying to remember which War Games I like. I think the Pat McAfee War Games was probably the second best Undisputed Era one behind this one. So yeah, I would say probably go to 2020 War Games and watch it with this one. And then, does anything from this make the Wrestling Criterion Collection?
No.
No, I don't think so either. So classic hot dog, classic handshake. Since we just kind of picked this for the full card, anything's on the table. What are you going to give the classic handshake to?
The main event.
Yeah, that's what I did as well. And then let's rate it out of 10. What do you got?
8.5.
8.5. I went 8, so we're right on par with each other here. So 8.25 average makes that tied with Heatwave 98 and your AJW medley for our second highest rated show of this year. First is 8.5 for G1 Climax 23 Day 4. And then next week, Super Showdown 2018, which took place in Australia because of Crown Jewel Australia. That was Buddy Murphy wins the Cruiserweight title. I believe Triple H's last match is on this card. No, because he wrestled in 2019, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, but I think it's the last time Triple H wrestled Orton was on this card. That might be what it is. So, anything else, or do you want to take us out of here?
That's all I got. You can join us for more coverage. Always, as we said, those know what's coming up. We have every promotion under the sun in the archive. So, with that, just enjoy wrestling.